Welcome back to Jabezy. It is March. We have Jabezy bracket coming in a perfect bracket. You guys ready to go?
Yeah,
March Madness, baby.
This is the perfect bracket. We're gonna be millionaires. This is gonna win. Starting off with the South, we have the number 1 seed Auburn taking on Alabama State. It's a no-brainer.
Auburn.
Can't take the
Auburn,
6
yeah.
seed.
Yeah.
Alabama State with a great game winner though last
Yes,
night,
to get into the tournament,
winning 70
They're
to
in-
68.
they come up short. Gonna lose to Auburn. And we have Louisville against Creighton. Great game. Big East at the 9 seed against Louisville at the 8 seed. This is a make or break for your perfect bracket. I'm gonna go Creighton on this one.
I'm gonna go with Louisville
I
Cardinals.
like Louisville.
The Cardinals.
I would say
Cardinals.
Louisville, but going off of last game when they versus UConn, Creighton, that was
Creighton beat
amazing.
UConn last game.
That was an amazing game. They played well. Although Creighton lets out a lot of threes, I don't think Louisville has enough shooters to capitalize off that disadvantage and that liability in their defense.
I think Creighton's gonna get it done. They're gonna move on. They're gonna play Auburn. Next, we got Michigan, the winners of the Big Ten against UC San Diego. It's a 5 against a 12.
You gotta go Michigan.
You gotta go Michigan.
That's an
We're
easy
gonna
Big
take
blue.
Michigan.
Big
Yeah,
blue,
for
baby.
sure.
Coming up, we have a sleeper pick on Yale, one of the Ivy League schools.
No.
Heck no.
No, you don't think Yale's gonna get it done?
No,
Texas
Texas
A&M.
A&M, if you look at their
Texas A&M 's
defense,
gonna
they hustle. They hustle. I don't
Yeah,
think
they're
Yale's
playing
going to be
ball.
ready to be prepared to play against that type of defense. In the Ivy League schools, they don't really verse that. They don't really verse the dogs that.
Sleeper game, but
the Ivy Leagues are soft, bro.
Yeah. They can't play in the South in the SEC. They're gonna win.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss against
North
NC.
Carolina.
North
Ole
Carolina.
Miss.
That's
Hey,
right.
it's
Basketball
UNC all
team.
day.
Ole Miss.
UNC all day.
There's one problem with North Carolina. Is they suck. That's
They got heart. They know how to play in these tournaments. They're
Give
gonna
me
move
a
on.
State.
They're gonna
Let's
upset.
go.
They can't play. Iowa State against Lipscomb. Iowa State's gonna get it done. 3 or 4 versus 14. Lipscomb, great team. They're not gonna get it done. It stinks, but their story is there.
Marquette.
Then we got Marquette against New Mexico. The New Mexico Lobos
I like
sneaks
that
into
game.
the tournament at the 10. That's a hard game. I think Marquette, Big East, they're gonna get it done.
Blows them out.
Then we got Michigan State against the local college of Bryant. I don't know. Bryant's looking a little good at that 15. Bryant looks pretty good at that
Might be a
15.
close
Michigan
one.
State.
Might be a close
Nail
one.
biter.
Let's be real.
That's a
think
nail
Michigan
biter.
State edges it out, though.
Let's be real. All right, moving on to the East. We have Duke against AMER or
Duke.
you don't have to worry about that. Duke's gonna win. Doesn't matter.
No explanation needed.
No explanation. Then we got an 8 versus 9, another tricky one. Mississippi State against Baylor.
Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State.
Baylor has been a couple 1 seeds in the past couple years. They've been a solid team, but what do you guys think?
Baylor, they do have VJ Edgecombe.
Baylor, the coach, has a lot of experience being in this tournament.
Long Island native.
That's true.
VJ
All out
Edgecombe.
native Baylor. Do we take Baylor in this game?
Yes, we'll take Baylor.
We'll take Baylor.
We'll take
Upsetting. Then we got Oregon versus Liberty. This is not football. Oregon's gonna smoke them. Then we got Arizona against Akron. Akron's looking pretty good.
Arizona.
I don't hate Akron.
I don't know. Akron, Akron.
Arizona.
Arizona's gonna smoke. Doesn't matter. Then we get the Mormons against VCU.
VCU.
VCU, baby, ride them.
VCU Cinderella story. They're going
Cinderella,
they're
they're going pretty
deep.
far. Then we have Wisconsin against Montana. Wisconsin's gonna win that one in a close game. Then we got St. Mary's of East Islip against Vanderbilt.
St. Mary's v. Islip.
St. Mary's of East Islip. They make the tournament at the 10 seed. They're gonna get it done, and against the 10 seed. And then we have Alabama against Robert Morris. Alabama's gonna smoke them.
Give me Bama.
To the second round. Oh, to the West bracket.
The West bracket, we have Florida against Norfolk State. Florida's gonna win that. Then we have 2-time champions UConn at the 8 seed. Surprisingly, they had a lot of draft picks go. A lot of kids leave against Oklahoma.
They'll get it done. They have the experience.
They know how to play.
They're
Dan Hurley's an amazing coach. He'll know how to beat
Yeah, they
Oklahoma.
coach.
They have experience.
Do you guys see UConn making a 3-peat?
No.
I don't know, but they'll be solid. They'll
They'll get to Sweet 16.
They'll get it
No
done.
way to.
Then we have Memphis against Colorado State. Memphis is going to move on. Maryland against Grand Canyon. Maryland has a couple tough games
Let's
under
go.
their belt.
Grand Canyon might be a
Let's go,
Cinderella.
baby.
Might
You
be a
think-
Cinderella.
No,
Maryland-
Maryland.
Turpin's
Maryland's
gonna get
done
it
after
done.
this, but they'll be Grand Canyon.
Then we have Missouri against Drake.
I like Drake here.
Drake with the upset. They move on.
Drizzy, let's go Drizzy.
Against
Let's go
Texas.
He just dropped an album.
Just dropped the album. They're good. Does UNC Wilmington get the crazy upset against Texas Tech?
No.
They don't. Texas gonna win. Then we have Arkansas against Kansas.
I like
Kansas is making a run. They're going to top
Basketball
4.
team, they're gonna keep going.
SJ.
And we got New York's team.
St. John's.
St. John's gonna smoke Omaha, not even close.
Ah.
And now for our final round of 64, we have the Midwest. Houston's gonna beat SIUE. You can't sleep on the Cougars, man. SIUE.
I love the Cougars.
And we got Gonzaga against Georgia.
I like Gonzaga.
I like
Georgia, they're not really
I'm
in the
not
tournament.
sure. Georgia.
I'm with
Georgia-
James on this one. I like Georgia.
Georgia has
When was the last time you
beasts.
saw Georgia in the tournament?
Yeah, I like Gonzaga.
That's
a good
fair.
point.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's
That's
fair.
fair.
Experience players.
Then we have America's team McNeasy against Clemson.
McNeasy. Give me
McNeasy with the
McNeasy.
upset.
Give me McNeasy.
McNeasy gets the
Take it
upset.
all the way. Bro,
And
of course,
Purdue-
all right. Of course, Clemson's gonna win.
So we're trying to make
But
the
we
perfect
want
bracket
McNeasy.
here.
We want McNeasy.
Clemson's gonna win, but McNeasy's America's team. Everyone loves them.
Yeah.
Then we have Purdue against High Point.
Purdue.
Purdue.
I like
Give it
Purdue.
You guys
Yeah.
like Purdue? High Point. It's gonna be a close game, but I think Purdue's gonna edge them out. Jabezy analyst says Texas is a team in, and then I think Illinois is in.
Oh, Illinois, yes.
And we have Kentucky, who lost to Oakland last year in the first round. Against Jack Golke in that Oakland
Kentucky
offense.
is
Shout out
known,
Jack
for.
Shout out Jack Golke.
Kentucky is known for being upset, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
They might lose second round.
Second
Yeah,
round against
yeah.
Illinois. That's a good game. Then we have UCLA against Utah State.
Utah.
Utah.
I like
Utah,
Utah.
the
Yeah.
Utah Utes,
Utah.
Utah State. And we have Tennessee against Wofford. We have Auburn against Creighton.
Auburn.
This is a
Auburn.
this is a trap game for Auburn, I think.
Auburn here.
Really? You think?
I think Auburn might edge it out.
Auburn's average age on that team is like
I like
25.
Michigan here.
Yeah. Michigan, Big
I like
Blue,
Michigan here too.
beats Texas A&M. They're the Big Ten champs. They can do what they want. They're gonna.
Get UNC out of
Steamroll.
there.
UNC's
Shouldn't even
out of
pick
here.
them in the first place.
They had a great first game against Ole Miss, but Iowa State's Cyclones.
This is a debate. Marquette versus Michigan
this is a
State.
great
That
game.
is
Give me-
a hard
give me
game.
Give me
Michigan
Michigan
State.
State. Yeah,
Really?
what?
Michigan State.
Marquette's not that good.
Give me Michigan State.
Yeah, get Michigan State, but that's gonna be a good game.
That's a great
It's
game.
gonna
It'll be
Yeah, 100%.
down to the buzzer.
Tune into that.
Yeah.
That's a great game. We got Duke against Baylor. Will Cooper Flag play?
That's the big question. Because if he doesn't,
Cooper Flag is playing.
One of our
Dude.
Jabezy commissioners says Duke has Cooper Flag and he's going
shout
to
out
play.
William Lackner.
Shout out Lackner. He says Duke's gonna win. They might get it done. We have the 5 versus 4. Arizona against Oregon.
I like Oregon.
They got some nice jerseys. They're gonna win it. They're gonna get it done. Then we have VCU against Wisconsin. Does VCU keep steamrolling?
VCU
I think
keeps
so.
going.
VCU takes it all the way.
Yeah,
And St. Mary's against Alabama.
Alabama.
Give me
will
Bama.
take
Give me Bama.
St. Mary's had a great run. Just too unfortunate.
Mary's East
Then we got Florida against UConn. I think Florida's gonna beat
Florida,
UConn.
yeah.
They had a solid
Let's
run.
take Memphis.
Memphis against Maryland. Memphis gonna win.
Fee, take the
I like
fee.
the
Roll
fee.
fee.
Alpha
Roll
Phi.
fee. We got Drake against Texas Tech.
Bye, Drake.
Sorry, Drake. You're done.
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
We have St. John's against Kansas.
Give me St.
Give
John's.
me St. John's. Give me St. John's.
I think it's gonna be Kansas, but it's whatever.
No, come
It's gonna
on.
be Kansas
Now we
all
got Houston against Gonzaga.
I like Houston here.
You guys like Houston?
Yeah.
We have Clemson, Purdue. I think Clemson's gonna get it.
Clemson.
Clemson's got it.
Clemson's making a run. They're gonna make a run.
Illinois against Kentucky.
I like Illinois.
You're funny.
I think this year, like, this stops the end of upsets for Kentucky, but that's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Split decision.
Split decision.
Split
We asked the
decision.
analysts.
Let's go to the analysts.
Analysts.
Jabezy analyst. What do you guys think about this?
Illinois.
They're gonna win this one.
Huge.
Then we have Utah State against Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Good old Rocky Top. They're gonna move on. Heading to the Sweet 16, we have Auburn against Michigan.
I think it's gonna be an upset alert.
Upset
I'll be crazy.
alert.
I think it's gonna be an upset
Auburn,
alert.
First upset of the year.
first
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
solid upset. They're gonna lose. The 1 seed's knocked off to the 5 seed. Then we have Iowa State against Michigan State. Who you against?
Michigan again.
I like that, James.
I don't see Iowa beat.
Michigan versus Michigan State in the Final Four.
I think that's just meant to be.
That's
No,
just
it's
huge.
a Elite
Sweet.
Eight,
This is Sweet 16.
It's a sweet, yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be huge. That's
I
gonna
like
be huge
Michigan
here.
State here over Iowa State.
Yeah, I agree.
Michigan State moves on.
I
Then
just
we
don't
have
think
Duke versus Oregon.
Duke.
We like Duke.
Is Cooper Flag playing?
Yes.
Yes, he
He's
is.
not sitting out. And
He's not sitting out.
He's going to the NBA.
He's going to the league. He wants to show him I can play.
He's winning.
And we have VCU against Alabama. Do they keep rolling?
VCU!
VCU rolls?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a stretch. Alabama's gonna get it done. We have Alabama against
Bama?
Duke there.
Give me bite.
And we have Florida against Memphis.
I'll say I like Florida there.
Yeah, I like
is
Florida.
Florida's
hot.
gonna win. They're
They
gonna
got a
move on.
well-put-together squad.
Texas Tech against St. John's.
We know who's winning.
We know
John. We
John.
know St. John.
St. John's. Then we have Houston against Clemson.
I like Houston.
I like Houston.
Houston.
I think Clemson makes an amazing run, but it's just cut short by Houston.
Then we
That's
have
fair.
Illinois against Tennessee. I think
Ooh.
Rocky Top
keeps rolling.
Rocky Top keeps
I like
rolling into the Elite Eight. And right here we have Michigan against Michigan State in the Elite Eight. This is a
Script writers,
crazy
This is a
game.
good game. It's gonna be
Amazing game. You're gonna watch this one, knock your socks off.
I have Michigan State.
Who won? Who won
Yeah.
that Michigan State game?
Michigan
in the
won.
Michigan
won.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
can't.
But I think-
They won in the.
I think
Wanna beat
Michigan
the
State's
team
gonna
twice.
I
take
think
it.
Michigan State's hungry.
Michigan State.
It's
Michigan
gonna be
State's
tough
hungry.
to beat
They
the
want
team
it
twice,
bad.
right? Is
Give
that
it
what they
Duke.
said?
Give
We
it
have Duke
Duke.
versus Bama. Duke's
Duke.
gonna get it done. And we have Florida against St. John's.
Give me St. John's.
The
I'm a
St.
Florida
John's.
guy.
St.
St.
John's.
John's
St.
Florida.
John's brings it to the Final
I
Four.
don't know.
St. John's
I don't
brings it. They're gonna get in. I think.
You
It's
think?
a
Do
close-
you think St. John's? St. John's is. They're playing for all of New York. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
They're playing for the
They're like the
world.
Knicks right
They're
now.
playing for the
Yeah.
world.
They're playing for.
They're playing for the world. They get
New
in.
York.
Then we have Houston against Tennessee.
Tennessee's out of here.
Tennessee,
Yeah, I'm with you on this part.
Tennessee's gone, and there you have it. We have the Final Four, and we have two 2 seeds and 2 1 seeds playing for against Michigan State and St. John's.
St. John's.
Let's get.
I think
John's.
Michigan State.
St. John's.
They're
Does
just so hot.
Does the New York State end
The
here?
only problem with St.
Yeah.
John's is their offense. It looks like ISO ball every time down the court, and they don't shoot well from three. But Michigan State.
But will they
still
build?
can't guard
But
them.
will they build off their playing in those 3 games? Will they
So
realize
is
what they have
Michigan
to
though.
do?
They're gonna build off that big game against Michigan.
That is true.
I think we take
No,
Michigan.
I like St. John's here.
St.
John's-
John's is New York's team.
Should we go to
Please
the
pick
analysts?
St.
New
John's.
York's team.
Do we go to the analysts?
Yeah,
Analysts.
Jabezy going in.
St.
St. John's and Johnny's,
John's.
get it done. Top it up. And we have Duke against Houston.
Let's just say Duke here.
Let's go,
and
Duke. We have a
Wow.
perfect championship game.
What a game this is gonna be.
Duke against St. John's.
Drum roll.
What do we think?
History repeats itself. I say Cooper Flag wins if Duke wins.
Yeah,
Let's be
Duke
honest.
wins.
we're gonna have to.
It
go
was a
Duke.
good run.
That's
for
a realistic
Johnny's.
round.
St.
Great
John's
run.
brings it.
I mean,
St.
I'm sure it's a little
John's.
biased on the Johnnies,
a
but
good
I
game.
think Duke's gonna do it.
Duke will do it. There it is. 55-71.
Well,
Duke is
does
gonna
it
get
say
it done.
total points?
We're entering.
Okay.
If we win, we're gonna be millionaires.
Here it is.
If you're watching this,
Here
put
it
this
is.
in. This is the perfect
This is the
bracket.
perfect bracket. This is gonna win everything. Thank you guys so much for watching.